It's time to get your mind right with the Mind on Greatness podcast crew. Welcome to the Mind on Greatness podcast show.
What's the deal, everybody? Y'all already know I'm one of your hosts. It's the Big Boss. How Boss Out K Poke through the dope. We got Coach B up there. Salute to all our soldiers. We got Mike down there. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Peso. Shout out to everybody else who have contributed to the Mind on Greatness podcast. We are the Mind on Greatness podcast. Here to talk sports, anything. We're not running from no smoke. Today is the day where we talk about these Western Conference Finals. We just saw down to the wire thriller in Manila. We just saw Luka just hit that game-winning three. You know what I mean? The Mavs are now up 2-0, right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Boston and Indiana. We're going to also give our Game 3 predictions, right, for both series. So, Mike, I'm going to toss it to you. What did you see today in Game 2? We start with just Game 2 only. What did you see today in Game 2, Mavs versus T-Wolves? Let me know something.
I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really watched the game like that, but I know after I'm looking at the stat output and everything, like the Timberwolves, yeah, hey, y'all gotta figure out how to hold Kyrie. Kyrie hitting too many important baskets. He ain't scoring that much, but the important baskets and the time that, like, when the game come to crunch down, Kyrie is hitting important baskets. You know what I'm saying? And he's showing his championship version. I ain't gonna lie, Kyrie known for hitting some important baskets when it come crunch time. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, with the addition with Luca behind him, hey, Luca, it's his time. I feel like Luca is getting he's finally gonna get the recognition that he hasn't got because he has no MVP. He has no Finals MVP. He has no he has no accolades. But we know who Luka Doncic is with no accolade. But this championship, I feel like if he get past the Timberwolves, this is going to be it's gonna put him up there in the conversation. He probably will be the best Maverick above. You know what I'm saying? Dirt. He may be the best Maverick above Dirt. You know what I'm saying? Doing it at a younger age, and how dominant he is at a younger age. So we're gonna pass it off to B. What you got for us, my boy?
uh, Great analysis right there. Yeah, I'm going in reverse order. If I'm Dirk, I don't mind passing it to Luca. Period. Because he is what it is, man. He's that guy. He got that dog. Obviously, after seeing what he did tonight, I get it. It's Rudy Gobert, but he has that killer instinct. And I always talk to people about the dog and killer instinct. Luca has both. He has a dog and a man. He has that killer instinct mentality. So again, if I'm Dirk Nowitzki, hey, I'm not gonna argue with you, brother. You got it. Now you know what I'm saying. I did my thing. Now it's your turn to do your thing, and while you're in your prime, make the best of it and enjoy what you got. The opportunity you got at hand right here. Uh, for the Dallas Mavericks. Not too much throughout the game, but the fourth quarter says a lot in any game, especially when you getting closer and closer to the championship hour. So Luka and Kyrie, they showed up when they were supposed to. They showed up when they were supposed to. Both of them were struggling throughout the first and third quarter. The fourth quarter hit, and I was like, I don't know. But at the same time, Kyrie got going. He hit a couple threes. He finally started finding the basket consistently, and Luka started finding a way to debunk and void the high double team they were present from the Timberwolves. So again, big shot from Luca at the end of the game, and I want to speak about that because if I'm the Timberwolves, if I'm Rudy Gobert, you put me 1-on-1 in a terrible situation at the end of the game. I'm fouling Luca early, and I'm calling coach and the whole team to a huddle, and I'm telling them, hey, excuse my French, what the hell y'all got going? Y'all got me Rudy Gobert. I'm Rudy Gobert, and you got me holding one of the most elite superstars in the league right now with the game on the line in the Western Conference Finals. What are y'all thinking? Ant, what's wrong with you? McDaniels, what's wrong with you?
Oh,
Nas,
he
what's wrong with
gotta
you?
he has to show up too to neglect that. He has to show up too. It's a smaller cat guarding him. Anytime it's a smaller guy on Rudy Gobert, He need to be going in dog mode, like back his ass down to the basket.
But that
It becomes old school basketball at that point.
right, true. On the offensive end, but on the defensive end, like ain't no way I'm gonna
Yo,
let them switch me on Luka.
hey, in this new day and age of NBA, your offense is defense.
That's true.
And when you gotta make a guy to work to hold you, and then backdoor and have to come on the floor and actually produce offense, it's 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 tough. It's definitely tough. That's the reason why Anthony Edwards has not been showing up this series.
And I agree with that, but still, I'm not allowing Rudy Gobert. If I'm Anthony Edwards or McDaniels, if I'm struggling on the offensive end, I'm not gonna allow Rudy Gobert to go D up Luka to stop a final shot. Move, Rudy, move, move, move. I don't care who open at that point. You
But
go find
shit,
whoever open.
with the lineup matchups, Rudy got to be the defensive player of the year. He has to be defensive player of the year. You know what I'm saying? And he has
Right.
been lacking. You're right. He's been lacking on that point.
He's been
Whenever you
allowed.
get again, it don't matter who he's holding, you have to hold that title, my boy. You have to hold that title.
That's true, but like we just mentioned, that's Luca. That's Luca. That's a different breed. He a different animal. He in his own world. I'm not putting Rudy Gobert. I don't care what your title is. I'm not
It
putting
take
Rudy Gobert.
it take a lot to get the defensive, you know what I'm saying, defensive awards. So Rudy, you need to show up, bro. You're getting put to work.
Facts. That's
Cody, what
100%
you
true.
got for us, my boy?
Um, I think start with the Timberwolves. You know, you got Anthony Edwards who's 5 for 17 today. He's trying to play defense, but I don't think his body's holding up. You got what I mean? Is this kind of like his Kobe moment? Y'all remember when Kobe um, was shooting all them jumpers and he was airballing, right? And then he came into the offseason and he worked, and then the next season he came back and those shots he was airballing, he started making them. Well, Anthony Edwards, this is this type of situation. I feel like on the defensive side, he's worn down and it's affecting him offensively. You know what I mean? That's why you see a lot of guys like, you know, the older guys, they typically don't play defense. I mean, you look at Luka and them, they don't, and Kyrie, they're not really known as being defenders. They can contribute in certain schemes, but they're not really locked down defenders, one-on-one defenders that's gonna pick you up from, you know, full court. That's not their type of style of play. You know what I mean? So Anthony Edwards gotta build his body up. Right now, it's not looking good for him. You know, he's had 2 games where he's had poor shooting performances. You are the star of this team. You are what makes this team go. You got to figure it out. And right now, I mean, 5 for 17, and you got, you know, you 2 for 7 from three. You know, you finish with what 21 points. That's not gonna get the job done. You get what I mean? I mean, you got Nas Reed, the 6th man of the year. He got more points than you. You get what I mean? And he shot better than you. So he has to do better. You know what I mean? You are the star, my bad. You are the star of this team. So you have to figure out a way how to ascend and elevate everybody. You get what I mean? Um, and it's crazy because me and coach was talking about that. It was like, man, he seemed like he figuring it out. Like he's taking that next step to where he can ascend everybody, kind of like how LeBron used to do. Kind of like I won't say Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant always had superstars, but Steph
Mm-hmm.
and all these, you know, Luka, they bring everybody up by their style of play. You get what I mean? And I was like, oh, he seemed to be figuring it out, and then he played his team and he, you know, in 2 games. Now, granted, the series is not over, but right now it's not looking good for them. You down 2-0, you know, you in this hole, and now y'all backs against the wall. So now it's even more pressure on you to perform. You know what I mean? But you know, this is a learning lesson for them. When it pertains to, you know, the Mavericks, The Mavericks are taking care of business. You know what I mean? Luca is being Luca. Like me and Coach was talking about the other day. Luca, he slow it down. He slow it down, he chop and screw it. Then you got
Yeah.
Kyrie who could
You
do
got to play to
anything.
his speed. He
Yeah,
make you play to his speed. The whole
exactly.
game slows down to Luca's speed.
He slow everything down. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because it seemed like he paying in slow motion, but nobody could stop it. Nobody could stop it. And I was telling, I said, if I wanted to stop anybody on
If
that
you
match team, I would want to try to stop Luca because Luca kind of is more of the quarterback of how the offense gonna go. But
nah,
Kyrie gonna
you
get his. He gonna
I'm gonna
get his.
say this, bro. If you try to stop Luca every time, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose
Well, the
because
reason,
the office um is catered to him drawing double teams towards him because he makes the right pass every time. You
yeah,
know what I'm
and
saying? So
what I
and
meant by
Kyrie don't go ahead.
what I meant by stopping Luca is this: you stop Luca and everybody else. And you, as far as Kyrie, you let Kyrie be Kyrie. But if you stop everybody else, Kyrie gonna have to score 60. He gonna have to have one of them type of games, and he can't do that for 7 games. So you stop the quarter, you stop the guy who elevates.
I agree.
Kyrie, he don't really, he can, but he don't really ascend everybody like Luca do. Luca can get everybody involved. My
So the
daughter,
Wolves, I agree. The Wolves need to make Kyrie. They need to force Kyrie to be the focal point.
yeah,
They need to force Kyrie to be the focal point and make him the guy that they have to stop, and
yeah.
let
I
Luca
mean,
try to eat off of you know Kyrie being the focal point. What you
Yeah.
got for us,
I
B?
mean,
What you got?
I mean, throughout the game, they did well. First, second, third quarter, they did well. They forced Luca to pass the ball and do other things, and it wasn't the best passes. Luca had a couple wild passes that went out of bounds and caused them to to create turnovers. So quarter 1 through 3, they were bringing a high double team at the top of the three, like far outside the 3 point. I felt like that was great, making them pick up the ball. But at the same time, what really affected this game was the Timberwolves kept going on these spurts of not being able to find the basket. And the only person that was really finding the basket, excuse me, consistently was Nas Reed. I believe he only missed 2 threes and he was shooting it well. But at the same time, you got to think about like how many more times in this series can Nas Reed have a performance like this from three while everybody else is struggling? Ant was doing his thing. He was trying to get to the cup. He wasn't making it. And another thing is too that was big in this game. The refs allowed them to play. The refs
Yeah.
allowed them to play. They called the necessary fouls when it was necessary, but they allowed them to play. And for Anthony Edwards to be one of those slashers who can get to the cup and get a shot off and dunk on anybody damn near in the league, I'm not understanding why y'all not executing at a high level. And then another thing I want to highlight for the Mavs is those two young cats that's playing in the post, Lively and Gafford. When they figured it out that they can play aerial over Gobert and Cat, it was tough. It was tough because I don't know how many lobs Kyrie threw up. I don't know how many lobs Luca threw up, and they was catching all of them, and there was no reaction. Cat was way out of place. Gobert, he was late reacting to the play, so it's gonna be tough for them to figure out something because I
Anthony
think they put it. You go ahead.
Anthony should be in that same type of role. I feel like he should be able
Exactly.
to control the volume of the game with
In
if
real life.
it's you know what I'm saying, if you're supposed to have this superstar status, bro. I understand that everybody's giving you this hype of the Jordan hype and stuff like that, but as you get deeper in the playoffs, you become the only team that's playing, and it's more film that's
Mm,
on you.
great
So
point.
these double teams, these triple teams, I ain't gonna lie, just watching it, Anthony is struggling with these double teams and triple teams.
And not to mention that, I feel like he's giving up the ball when he's not supposed to. Like
Mm,
it was a few
Yes,
times in this game. It was a few times in this game where he had wide open mid range and he picking up his dribble and passing the ball. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You supposed to want that. You supposed to want the mid range 1-on-1. You supposed to want the 10 foot layup or a 10 foot floater in the lane. You supposed to want that. Why are you passing the ball in these situations? I get it, Nas Reed, he's hot. he's wide open, but at the same time, you got to get your rocks off too, because like Capo mentioned, you have to develop
You
that
you can't be
ascension
like
type.
LeBron. LeBron is his own character. You can't be team first at times. I understand LeBron has taken over this day and age of making it all about team basketball, but in crunch time, the actual superstars win you the championships.
Facts, facts. And like I say, again, quote you can quote me on this. We got receipts. You know what I'm saying? We got receipts. I did say the Mavs were gonna win the series, but I didn't think they would be up 2-0 early. And you know what I'm saying? I thought this
I
was
ain't
gonna
get
be
that
straight up.
either. I ain't
I,
get
I didn't
that
think they
either.
would be up 2-0. I said this series was gonna go 7 games, and you down 2-0. You lost your first 2 games at home, and now you headed to Dallas, bro. You headed to
Mm.
Dallas. You got two
Yeah.
games in Dallas. You got to steal one and then win the next
Which
two at home.
we can't really say that because these niggas went on the defending champions floor and won 2 games. So
Facts, facts.
like I'm gonna give if they go in there and lose the first game, then I'm gonna be like, okay, nigga, like you
Right.
down 3-0 at this point. Like it's
Game
probably a
three,
wrap.
game
I
three
think
is a
they gotta win game 3.
it's a
Go ahead,
must.
They
Capo.
have to. This is a must win. This
It's
is
a
a
must.
must win.
Yeah, it's they back is against the wall, and
And then go ahead. My bad.
and like Mike was saying, you know, you got to be able to in crunch time take that game over. You know what I mean? But also when we mention elevate, you look at Kobe's, you look at Mike. Yeah, they had the ball last, but they also elevated their team. You know, they put their team in position to win. They got their guys to their spots to where they can make their shots. The Steve Kerrs, the Robert Orrs, you know what I mean? Even Kobe with Robert Orr, Rick Fox, you know what I mean? When teams collapsed on them, right, in crunch time, all right, cool. Boom, Rick, there you go. Bust that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So Anthony gotta be able to elevate his IQ and be able to see stuff when it happens. You get what I mean? I think he's a very talented guy and he's relying off his talent, right? He his IQ is not there yet. You know,
Facts.
and we not I'm not trying to compare him to LeBron, Jordan, or anything, but when LeBron got to that level, right? I'm talking about 2018 LeBron. That team he had in 2018, and there were teams that were way better than his team, and he killed them. Why? Because he beat them with this. He already know I got the talent, but he beat them with this. And I think that's what Anthony Edwards, you could see his first in his game. He didn't know what to do in certain situations. He didn't have situational awareness. Okay, cool. Dang, I got a wide open shot, man. Let me pass this like you mentioned. Hey man, he don't have situational awareness of what's going on and what to do and the answers to basically make his team better. Hey, we not hitting right now. All right, cool. We not hitting right now. Hey, let's start. Hey, Mike, let's start setting up some sets to where hey we could get some easy buckets for Rudy. Or hey, set a pick. I'm gonna come off the screen and hey, just
Mhm.
give me the ball and get out the way. You get what I mean? You gotta know and have situational awareness to know what am I supposed to do and when am I supposed to take over the game and how am I supposed to get this team going? Because if
I
you're not
agree.
hitting, you got to figure out. Okay, hey coach may call something.
I'm
Hey,
uh,
not coach. This what we gonna do. What you got, Mike?
I agree. Like I'm gonna back down and say this. Like them struggling baskets are important. Like
Mhm.
when everybody's not hitting the shot, you have to make that hard basket.
You
And
do.
it's been times where Anthony has not even though people are draped on him, superstars make that basket. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Kobe, LeBron, it'd be a hard basket where you'd be like, damn, he ain't supposed to make that. And then he make it. That's what gets the
Mhm.
team going. You know what I'm saying? Them struggling baskets and you keeping the team on your shoulders, them struggling baskets help help motivate others to make shots. I ain't gonna lie. They help
It really does.
motivate others to make shots.
It also
So
opens up other opportunities on the floor as well.
Mm-hmm.
exactly,
I,
exactly,
I mean,
and
So, so, so if I may, right here, let's kind of veer away from the player's perspective and let's go to the coach's perspective. Particularly, let's move over to Coach Finch and the Timberwolves. If like you mentioned, this is going back to what Capo mentioned earlier. Ant seems tired. He's exhausting a lot of energy on the defensive end, having to stick at Kyrie. So
but
me personally,
they just played 7 game series though. Like
that
they
that too,
literally,
that too.
so they're a little gas.
That too. But if I'm Coach Finch and I know my superstar, my guy's tired, if I'm him, I'm gonna tweak my defense. Okay,
mm-hmm.
we already mentioned if we're gonna slow somebody down on the Mavs, we want to slow Luca down. Okay, cool. So that means I'm gonna pull Anthony Edwards off of Kyrie. I'm gonna put Mike Conley on Kyrie. We
No,
all know that's a watch.
no,
We know it's a watch. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. We all know
no.
that's a wash. We all know that's a wash. Kyrie is gonna cook him for sure. Kyrie is gonna cook him for sure. I'm putting Mike Conley on Kyrie. I'm taking McDaniels and the combination of Nash Reed and throwing them consistently at Luca. And I'm letting Anthony Edwards pick up his energy on the defensive end. On the defensive end, take a break right here and take a break and go pick up a secondary player, a tertiary player. Let him pick up somebody different. A couple offensive series, offensive possession for the Mavericks. And then when he start getting his rocks off on the offensive end, okay, we in the game, we got you in the groove. Now we're gonna throw him back at a Kyrie or a Luca, but he needs to find a way to reserve some energy on the back end to keep them in the game. Because, like I say, like K-Po said, I feel like that's affecting his offensive play so much to where he's not even able to slow his mind down and get his IQ, going in the game because he know, oh, I got to pick up Kyrie. Kyrie is not easy. It's not an easy walk in the
I
park.
mean, but you already have a defensive player that just plays strictly on Jaden Daniels. I'm throwing Jaden Daniels on Kyrie, and then at the back door, like on Luca, I'm throwing. I ain't gonna lie, I would put Anthony on Luca, or put Anthony somewhere at the 3 or the 4 position, trying to guard the 3 or the 4.
But he's still losing a lot of energy going against Luca or
No,
Kyrie. So
no, I mean I would never put him losing. I would never put Anthony on actual Kyrie because that's exerting too much. I need too much offensive output out of him, so I don't need him guarding Kyrie.
Yeah.
I'm not putting him on either one of them. If I got McDaniels go hold Luca, Conley, do what you can against
McDaniel, you got the Wolves is a defensive team, so I would McDaniels, I will put on Kyrie. There's another guy that they got that plays defense that is a three that I would actually put partially on Luca and switch him off of Luca and whatever Luca tries to do. Luca is going to try to get his switches. So
you talking about
at the top
Walker
of
or Anderson?
and huh,
You talking
it
about
could be
Walker or Anderson?
it could be Walker or Anderson. I will switch them two and put Anthony on them because Luca is going to start the if he's coming bringing the ball up court, he's going to get whatever switch he wants to because he's going to call for a screen. He's going to always call for a screen to get. He's going to put the worst matchup on him as much as possible. And I will create it to where the switch is always a defensive player switching on top of him.
And that was the example I was bringing up because if it is an off ball play and Luca does call for a screen and
I would
and Ant is already on the worst defensive player, then with the screen, Ant will automatically switch onto a Luca versus having to guard him the full play set. That's what I was
it's
trying to
weird with the
allude to.
Wolves too, because the Wolves don't have a worse defensive player. They a defensive team.
Yeah, right now they looking like a liability. I ain't gonna lie.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's because them legs ain't underneath it. Like they just literally played a game 7 with the champion. Like their legs ain't got there yet. I think I I hope they get this next game, but I feel like I know they're going to get this next game because your legs have to come after your legs have to come.
I mean, they got what they play again on Sunday, so we'll see. Hopefully, the plane ride, they get over to Dallas early and they get some rest. They get their team off their feet and have them just watching film and get some rest. Because, like I say, they didn't play a horrible game today. It was just down the stretch. They were struggling to get the easy buckets. Anthony Edwards was kind of kicking the ball out when it was supposed to be his time to shine. And like I say, the biggest standout to me was that last possession. I don't care if Rudy Gobert is the MVP of the league, defensive MVP of the league. He's not holding no Luka Doncic, period. That's just not gonna happen. When I seen that, I was like, it's over with.
It just came down to execution. They didn't execute down the stretch,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that just goes down to, like you said, IQ and them being tired. You know what I'm saying? But if they lose this series, the series not over with. If they lose this series, we lost Mike. If they lose this series, then it will be a situation to where they can learn from it, and they know what they need to do going into next season. They know that they need to work on their bodies, and that's why you see Michael Jordan, LeBron, and them, they going, and Kobe, especially Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
They doing extra. You know what I mean? I don't, man, the stories they tell about Kobe, I don't know when that man slept, bro. Like, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was up before everybody and did a workout before everybody, and then he did his own workout and then did the team workout. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we have to, it's just a learning lesson. I think Anthony Edwards got that in him. He just gotta, he it's make or break for them. You know what I'm saying? He made it past these, first two series where, he was relying on his talent and the defensive prowess of the team. But now it's just you and this other team. And this is where your
Right.
IQ has to be shown. So, hopefully he steps it up for game three. Right now, the way they looking, I, because it's a must-win game and they were up 18 points, I think Minnesota will win game three. But now, me seeing how Dallas is playing them, I know originally I picked the Timberwolves, but they struggling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do. They just they kind of freestyling to me, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing. It's more like, it's kind of like, and I hate to compare this to boxing, but you ever seen a boxer that don't have a game plan? He just in there just winging it. You know what I mean? And you could get away with that with certain fighters. But once you get in there with that elite guy, you better have a game
Mm-hmm.
plan. And that's what this is. You in there with some elite guys, with Kyrie and Luka, and Jay Kidd as their coach. You gotta have a game plan and you gotta execute. If you don't, like Floyd Mayweather say, if you make a mistake, you got to pay, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what's your game three prediction? Who you got, Coach?
Or it's almost, to me, in my opinion, it's a do or die situation. Because if you go down 3-0 right here, if you go down 3-0, my bad, I had to get Mike back in here. Game three prediction. If it's almost a win or die right here situation for the Timberwolves. If you go down 3-0, I feel like it's over with. And we all know what the statistics is when you go down 3-0 in the conference finals. It don't look good for you. You got to win almost 3 games straight. We seen only a few teams in history do it. Especially we seen the late great Golden State Warriors do it against Kevin Durant when he was with the Thunder, but that's a low probability, and we all know that. And I don't believe the Minnesota Timberwolves have the offensive power to do that, to come back, from 3-0 and beat, two of the best closers in the league, possibly the best backcourt in the history of the league between Kyrie and Luka. And not only that, they're starting to find a way to get the rest of the guys involved. PJ Washington, Gafford, likely the rookie. They're finding a way to get
They
these guys
still
involved,
young. They
and they
still
still young.
young.
And they finding the rhythm right now in the tough spot to be finding the rhythm. They're finding a
Yeah,
rhythm
I
in the
understand.
Western Conference Finals.
My bad to cut you off. I understand how Anthony Edwards and Ant was talking in the press conference of saying that how many times we gotta lose for y'all to understand that we done lost too many times. But bro, y'all still young as a core.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have some veteran presence with Mike Conley, but at the same time,
That's
Mike
my
Conley can
guy.
only do so much. Exactly. Mike Conley can only do so much. He can only he can't provide your motivation. He can't
And
put
he
your
not
he can't put up
and he
buckets for
not
you.
he not a I hate to say I ain't trying to disrespect Conley like that. He's a good point guard, but he not a guy that's going to automatically get points for you. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no,
Automatically he contribute or make offense for you. Yeah, you're trying to run the offense through him, but Mike Conley be off, bro. Mike
yeah,
Conley he be having some games where he can't hit shit. He
and
can't
Mm-hmm.
then
hit nothing.
I'm not a man of excuses, but you got to think too. He's 36 years old and he's playing on a strained Achilles. You know what I'm saying? That's Achilles in itself, just being strained is tough. And you 36 years old. That something go wrong right there. You ain't coming back, my brother.
Man,
He ain't coming
man,
back.
yeah, you in
This
your
the
30s.
last of it.
You,
This the last of it. If you don't get it there,
yeah.
which I mean, I feel like all three of us feel like you should get a ring as much work that Conley didn't put in, but bro, like you're not you're not scoring like that. You're not putting the ball in the basket to where you're making your team that much better as a veteran.
Facts.
Right,
And you're a veteran on the floor that's supposed to start, and you're not really contributing as a. They're putting you as a superstar veteran, and you're not a superstar veteran. They didn't
right,
name you as something that you're not. They're banking on you to do something that that you do every so often.
right.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be that 3-point specialist. But to wrap up my game three predictions, I'm gonna say because it's a do or die right here. I believe the Minnesota Timberwolves stick with the same game plan they had tonight. Nas Reed doesn't have a great game like he does tonight, but they find a way to steal one in Dallas. And I got them winning kind of like in the same fashion. Dallas won tonight, a buzzer beater, last bucket, last minute type deal, or Dallas Mavs, have to, foul and they hit the free throws and that be the end of the game. But I'm going ahead and say the Timberwolves get their first win in this series right here with the first game over in Dallas. K Pro, what's your predictions for game three?
Um, Minnesota back on the wall. Um, I think it's gonna go down to the wire as well. But I got Minnesota winning a must-win game. I think Anthony Edwards gonna have a sense of urgency this game, but I also think you know this probably be the last game they win. But
Mhm.
although I picked
Damn.
Minnesota, but um, I just think Minnesota don't have the legs, man. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they have the legs. Luka and Kyrie, they've been to the playoffs many times. You know what I mean? So they know how to carry themselves in the playoffs. They're savvy vets, especially Kyrie. You know what I mean? So, and they able to give game to their teammates. Minnesota, this is kind of like their first little run. So I expect Anthony Edwards to have many runs in the future. But as of right now, I just think they don't have the legs. They're a tough defensive team, but they're kind of being grinded down. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So they gotta. We thought it was their year, but it's just not their year. So I got
Right.
Minnesota winning game three close. I think they'll probably win about 5 points.
Okay.
Mm.
Mike, what you talking game three
I
predictions?
ain't
What
gonna-
you got?
hey, my game three for get predictions. I know I've had Minnesota actually stepping up and being the do or die, actually winning the game. But I don't think they have enough offense. Like, yeah, Anthony can show up, but bro, it's hard to show up against two dogs, bro. Like, it's
Mhm.
hard to show up against two guys that's been there. in the Western Conference Finals. I give you Kyrie being in the Eastern Conference Finals, even though Eastern Conference ain't as strong, but he didn't. Kyrie is known for being a clutch basket getter. Like he ain't no pushover at all. So I ain't gonna lie, I got the Mavs winning that hoe and putting them even more like a foot on their necks, even more of a foot on their necks. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a 3-0 series.
Oh, okay.
And then the second game, well, I guess we'll get into the second game another day. But yeah, the first game on Dallas floor, just how things been going, I can see Dallas winning this next game too.
Oh, okay. Subtopic right here. Outside of Anthony Edwards, outside of Rudy Gobert, outside of McDaniels, Nas Reed, what player would be the next pivotal piece to actually change the dynamic of the game for the Timberwolves right now? Because me
Gotta be
personally,
Cat.
if now
It's
I
gotta
was
be
gonna
Cat.
say
It's gotta
me
be Cat.
personally,
Cause
yeah,
Cat, you have so much shit being talked about you, my boy. Like Cat, you gotta step. This is the time to step up and neglect everything that's been said about you, my boy.
absolutely.
Facts.
Facts.
Because you done had Jimmy Butler literally come out here and say you ain't him and move
Mm,
teams the following year. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Cat. Like, it's a bad rap around you. So, Cat,
and
you gotta be the one that step up.
right. K-Po, who you picking right here? Who's a pivotal player that'll help, change the dynamic for the Timberwolves and get them a dub up on the board?
It got to be Cat. It has to be. You know what I mean? They drafted you as a high number one pick, right? But it's crazy because you still not that guy. It's Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So this is his time where he got to step up. Anthony Edwards can't do it by himself. You know what I mean? If Cat can be that guy that Kyrie is to Luka or Luka is to Kyrie, they could turn this series upside down. So it got to be Cat. Cat is dynamic in the sense of he can play the 4, he can play the 5, he can shoot threes, he can shoot mid range. He's very versatile on the offensive side of the ball. He can create shots for himself, but he gotta have that mentality, and that's where he lacks. He got the talent. He don't have that mentality. He ain't got that dog in him like Anthony Edwards.
Hmm.
Soft. He got the Drake syndrome. That's what I call it. The Drake syndrome. That's what he
That's the
got.
reason why. That's the exact reason why Jimmy left him. Jimmy got dog in him.
Yeah.
Jimmy can spot a not. Jimmy can spot a puppy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Uh, with that being said, another little the last game, the end of game one, Kyrie and Luca was doing an interview, and Luca, me personally, I don't know how Kyrie took it, but I would have been looking like, dude, did you just say that on television? But anyways, Luca had mentioned that he was Batman. He was the white Batman, and Kyrie was his little black Robin. And I was looking at it like, whoa. I wouldn't say Batman and Robin. I would say like Batman and Superman or something. But I definitely wouldn't call Kyrie Robin. So how would y'all have accepted that
That
comment?
makes tell it all, bro. Kyrie ain't no goddamn Robin. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah,
So
he didn't hit some important shots, but I'm gonna give him enough respect to call him a Batman too. Like he a
Right.
Batman too. Like
yeah,
Luca, you just happen to have somebody on your team that didn't want a ship, and he a Batman. He just had some conflictions, with the Batman that was on the team. You know what I'm saying? So he a
yeah.
Batman. He definitely a
Right.
Batman.
I agree, but I ain't gonna hold you. Me and Luca had to talk privately about that. I ain't gonna hold you. In public, I'll let him say
Ain't
it, but
no way.
we're gonna have to talk. Hey, what you mean by that, man? Like, expound on that.
Ain't no. He said that in the press conference, bro.
He said it in the press conference after game one. He said, I'm the white redneck Larry Bird, yada yada,
See,
Jake and Kyrie, this and that." Then
this
he
is the
said
reason why I'm not an athlete or a superstar athlete. I couldn't be. Nah, bro, you couldn't be talking to me like this.
he
Nah,
said, "I got my little black Robin, bro." I'm
hell
like,
no.
"What? What is you talking about?"
We'll have to talk in the locker room. Hey man, what you mean by that? Hey, everybody get out. Hey, what you mean by this, man?
In real life, bro. But yeah, he uttered them words out of his mouth, and I was looking like, "Huh?" And Kyrie was like,
What do you mean, you people? No.
facts. I was like, "Stop it, Luka.
No.
Stop it, Luka." Yeah,
Luca,
he said
bro,
that.
I'm
So
gonna need you to fix that the next time. I know you ain't meant that way, but I'm gonna need you to fix that shit. Cause
Yeah.
hell no.
all right. With that being said, we recap game two. Of course, Timberwolves took a L. Rudy Gobert had to stick Luka Doncic's last play of the game, and we all know he was fooled. We gave y'all our game three predictions. We talked about the comment that Luka made, and we
Which is
hoping me and
crazy.
Capo hoping Timberwolves get a dub. The first game on Dallas floor might got the Mavericks winning going up 3-0, and if they go up 3-0, the analytics, the statistics, the historical representation of
And
that ain't good. It ain't
it
good at
ain't no
all.
coming back. It ain't no coming back.
It's only
It,
one team that did that, and that's the team that had LeBron James
I was about to say LeBron, that was it.
on
Y'all better give that man his respect. Give that
facts,
man his
facts.
respect. He'll go.
it.
So we're gonna go ahead and close it out. You know what I'm saying? Look for us next time. We would love y'all to continue to subscribe, share, like, comment, follow, hate, whatever you're gonna do with it when you run across this video. But we are the Mind on Greatest podcast
We
crew.
here.
That's
We
Boss
here.
Dog, K Poke through the dough. That's Mike. He might as well do it. And I'm Brody, aka Coach in real life. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And we up out of here until next time. Y'all stay blessed, stay happy. Hit us up. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Salute.
Deuces.